It's not. And I drive my assistant crazy with this. I do have an assistant that works here with me in the office, and she, straightens out the trays and packs up for my shows and things like that as one of her jobs. And she'll be like doing that, and she'll be like, Michelle, where's your Cocoa Rose? I'm like, oh, I gave it away. And she's like, what? What do you mean you gave it away? I said, well, I needed a third booking, and she loved it, and I just said, you know what, take it home today, and why don't we just pick a date? Because Mary Chuella is a really funny VP on my team, and she's like, you know what you don't ever want to be? The last person at my show, at a show I still didn't get a booking. I just want to straight up say to them, you're not leaving until you book a show. Okay? Because you're last and no one else books. It has to be you. So just tell me what it's going to take. What item on this table is it going to take for you to book a show? So, if it takes I give something off the table, then that's what I do. Because that instant gratification is a big thing. And sometimes people say, oh, well, shouldn't I wait to give it to them until the show and tell them I'll bring it to their show? I'm not actually a huge fan of that, mostly because then it's like you're holding it hostage, and the unspoken message is, I don't trust you to have this party, right? So I'm going to have to wait. What I like to tell them is, I want you to have a piece to wear so that you will, when your friends say, oh, I love your necklace, you're going to say, thank you so much. I went to the best jewelry party on Thursday night. And actually, I'm having the girl come on the 12th. I would love for you to come. So I encourage them to pick something that they want to wear and enjoy, and that will get them attention between now and their show. So letting them pick something off the table is something I'm completely fine with. Plus, I don't feel like it really costs me anything, because I'll just replace it whenever. And, we all have more jewelry than we can take to a show, right? So if my next show doesn't have a Cocoa Rose at it, so be it. I'll talk about something else.
Right. Yeah. I have a testimony about that. One of the is it Boulevard or
yeah,
the Boulevard necklaces was in silver for one of my ladies. Now we were always taught to hold the gift, and so at the show we heard you say that, and so I decided to give it to, once you shipped it to me at work. I said, I have something for you. I put it in a bag, paper and everything, and she's like, what do you have? And I said, it came. And she's like, what came? Because they forget once they leave the show. The big party especially. It's like Thursday. And so I gave it to her, and she's like, oh my God, I'm taking off what I had, and I'm wearing this. So now she's going around work. Look at this. This is Park Lane. I got this from Joy for hosting a party. She posted a picture and a video.
That's awesome.
Post this necklace that she got. So that is absolutely true. I will never hold a piece of jewelry again.
Yeah. It's how we were told. So I held it too until yesterday. I packed it all up and ready to give them out on Sunday tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and any public environment you can give it out is amazing.
Oh my goodness, she took her jewelry off, put it on, posted a picture in my VIP group, posted a video on her page for people to buy, because it was a Facebook Live event I did for her. Had an awesome Facebook Live event. I mean,
right. And here's the thing, they're not going to cancel after that, because come on, they know they took $100 necklace, they made a big deal out of it. They're not going to turn around and cancel now. The only thing that could possibly happen is if there was an emergency, they would reschedule. But they typically do not just walk away, because they'll feel like it's stealing. And you have already shown like you trust them to hold this party. So I do definitely like them. Belinda Barrett, who I think a lot of you know, she's a division on my team. She gave a testimonial with her crutches at convention. When she books a show outside the show, she loves to go to their work with the hostess packet with like a balloon on it and a gift, and she like shows up to their job and she's like, I have something for you. And now everybody at work is like, oh my, what is that? So then she brings them, then they're like, let me see the book. And sometimes they like start their order processing right at that point.
I like that. I can always go on Fridays. That's great.
So Michelle, I have a question. So
sure.
saying that when we at the party, we may not necessarily have the jewelry,
Right.
but we offer it. And as soon as we get it, we give it to the hostess,
Yes.
the potential hostess.
Yeah. Yes. If you want to let them take something off the table, that's kind of quick and easy. You know they like it.
Right.
And of course, you don't have to open up your whole table if you're not comfortable with that. Or if you have signatures and impressions, things that like you can't quite part with. But you could say, you know, you can pick anything from this section, or you can say you can, you know, just look at their wish list. Sometimes I just do this on the fly. When they have crossed something out, I'll say, you know what? Why don't we do this? I know you wanted the unicorn in both colors, but we only could fit one of them onto your order tonight. So why don't you just take the purple one home with you tonight so that you can enjoy it and wear it, and we'll go ahead and pick your date.
It sounds so easy, doesn't it?
It works. It works.
I would much rather live without a purple unicorn than leave without a booking, right?
Talk to a friend.
Because at the next show, no one knows you had one or not. They don't know what's there.
On my show tonight.
That's funny. Christine just said, it's like talking to your friend. You always want to take care of your friend and hook her up. Like, oh, girl, you can take this necklace. Why can't you do that at a party?
Yeah, you absolutely can. And it's bringing up the term, treat them like a friend. That's one of the phrases I even use during the actual show. I'll say, when it comes time, when I'm explaining the sale and how that's a wish list and all that, I'll even say, and at the end, when we sit down, I'm going to help you shop like a friend. And what that means is when you go to a store with your friend, does she tell you, let's stay in the front, leave your coupons home, and let's pay full price for everything? No. She does that. You say, let's go to the back. Let's see what's on clearance. Did you bring your 30% off coupon? Let's get a deal. That's how I'm going to help you shop from your wish list. My job here tonight is to help you get as much money, as much jewelry for the best possible deal. So I'm going to help you work your deals like a friend would help you when you're out shopping. And they seem to really appreciate that, and they seem to not be afraid to make a big wish list. Because I always tell them, like, listen, this isn't the order form. You're not going to accidentally be charged for all these things. This is everything I love, Michele. Ultimately, these are all the things I would want, but I'm going to decide at the end which ones I'm actually going to get. Because when they have that big list, now don't we have more ammunition to say, oh my God, you have 40 items on here. Please tell me when we're having our show. Because, you know, no sale on earth is helping you get all this tonight. You know.
But it's funny, the old thing what they have about the $25 piece for the we have a special. If you spend $90, you can get the additional item for $25.
Yes.
And my last party, that was just a golden nugget. Like somebody spent $80. I was like, oh, you only spent $80. Like I said, you could have got this because I know you were looking at it. You could have $25. We was looking for a half price item all day long, and we found it. And then I was like, oh, because I put the most expensive half price. I'm like, oh, you gotta get more. She's like, I gotta get more. And we went through it. I sold at least 10 bracelets at her party. And so just taking advantage of what we have in front of us, and pretty much be like, I'm gonna give you the best deal. Like I've told people, you can't get this for $25. Oh, that's right. And y'all all like,
Even at half price is 25 is still better.
mm-hmm. And actually, I think Michele I saw Michele at the event, and what she did was, I personally was not a big fan of the unicorn necklace, right?
Oh, she made
the unicorn. Everybody wanted the unicorn.
Everybody.
I went and ordered it. I'm like, what am I ordering it for? And I was like, I want one too. I got all of them. Then I broke the other ones because I kept playing. And so, but what she did was, she knew what she was doing around making sure she wanted you to get those, right? And what I learned to do from her was, okay, I want everybody. I said, this is my test. So I told her I'm an engineer background. I'm a data person. So I'm like, I'm going to test her system. I want everybody to buy a bracelet. That was me. Now, granted, it's more items that's valued at $200 or less that they could have got for $25. I was like, I want everybody to do this. And the girl at the night, that the last two ladies, this one lady was like, I'm like an idiot if I don't get it right. And I was like, well, Then I was like, and this is kind of long. I mean, you're an idiot if you don't book a party, right? She was like, I don't want to be an idiot. And I'm like, okay, so do you want two? She got two and booked a party. So my thought was, and I learned that if whatever you really want them to get, if you can make them wear it, put it on them, show it to them, make them fall in love with it. I mean, literally, I bought them. Where's that necklace? It's this mermaid necklace. I didn't even like mermaids. Did you put it on somebody? I was like, I want one.
Siobhan looked amazing with that.
So it's the power of how can you present it, the information to them, what you want them to get, really trying to figure out the enticement. The thing that I didn't do is I'm thinking, what if I said that they could have got this for free to book a party?
Yes.
I'm not giving them an impression bracelet, but other than that, but I think that was something I learned from her too.
That was great.
It worked.
I do find that when they wear it, that's why I put so much jewelry on people right in the beginning. Because the longer they have it on, the less they want to take it off at the end of the night.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I'll just joke and be like, okay, so don't take it off. Why don't we set up a date? Walk out with that right now.
Yes, right. She took the core of the Solara and the Boulevard necklace. She had the 2 gifts on. She's like, she said I could keep this. I was like, oh, let's get you jewelry. She's like, oh no, this is I booked a party. She said I can keep this.
I can keep this.
Okay.
I would say, I'm really happy about her because you are correct. I analyzed this 2 days ago about doing this because we were taught to hold it until the party. Okay, old school way of thinking. And so I even had a conversation with Joy about it. and I came to the conclusion yesterday that I was going to bag everybody's jewelry up and send it to them. And part of it was because of the experience I'm having with Tina. Tina's the one that got to walk away with the jewelry. Tina has been working her show. That's not until September. Ever since she left the party, she went home, told her husband. Her husband contacted my husband. They done talked about the party. They were going to have it at a place, an event. Trying to pay money to have it at an event. I told her, no way. We're going to have it at your house. I'm like, you can get orders. She's in North Carolina right now as we speak and told me that she texted me, gave me questions. I said, oh, you wanted that. She wants the signature bracelet. Okay.
Oh, I told her.
So, right, it's Joy. She wants the signature bracelet. And we talked about her getting 20 sales. Let me tell you that she's in North Carolina right now, working her sister's friends and neighbors with the book and the jewelry that she has on. So listen,
That's so great.
that was
That's awesome.
I had to analyze it in my head, but I figured it out. No more. So today is just confirmation.
You know what's funny? At her party, and I remember talking to Tina, and I had the signature bracelet on, and she was like, how can I get that? And I was like, well, you can get it, but you not say that. And I just kind of left it alone. She was like, I really want that. I'm like,
She
okay.
did. She brought it up yesterday. I said, well, what bracelet are you talking about? And then we configured. It was the one that Joy had on. When I asked this Joy, it wasn't this Joy. It was this Joy.
It's the abalone one.
Yes, but we're going to do the clear. We're going to do the clear. So it works. So I can.
That's awesome.
She's been working her business that she doesn't have, that she doesn't know she has, because she's about to have a business. You know?
Yes.
I'm claiming that.
She's definitely.
I definitely want to recruit her. Absolutely.
And it's funny. I was talking to somebody today at Walmart. My girlfriend is in London, and we're talking at Walmart. She's like, how are you doing this jewelry so long, right? And she talked about prejudging people. And I told her, I was like, she said, well, don't you have this criteria for what they should look like and be like? And I was like, what? No. I said, because you wouldn't have thought about me doing this at all. I remember talking about Tina, and I told Tamika, I said, Tina is going to be your person. And I remember saying, she is going to be your person. And Tamika was like, I don't know, Joy. And I was like, she is too excited.
Yes.
She is very excited.
But the funny part is, as I was telling my girlfriend, I said, I had to learn that I can't prejudge. And even I can't prejudge how much you're going to spend. Because, I mean, I know people that she's a 6-figure plus. She's almost a 7-figure plus, my girlfriend. she would look in the back of the book and be like, where's the clearance sale item? Where I may get the one girl that's living check to check that want to spend $200. We just don't know. And I don't judge you regardless. I let you spend however you spend. As long as nothing bounce, we good. You know? So that's the thing that I kind of learned from them too. Is like just, you know, don't prejudge them at all.
So Michele, my second question.
Hold on 1 second. My son has a question for me. Let me answer him. Hold on 1 second.
Well, how long does it take?
Okay.
And then where should I?
Yeah, I need the car body.
I'm not driving.
Oh, then sure.
That's okay?
Yeah.
I just made sure.
Okay, yeah.
I held it. I think if I would have been able to make it quiet.
Hey, there you go.
They used to have information.
I'll be calling and telling you I have a second.
Did you miss the call?
Did you ever have a party?
So is he calling you?
And he goes, can you call me?
Okay. Don't miss the call.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Do you have to go, Michele? Do you have to go?
No, my son had a few questions for me about his day.
Okay, so the second question I had was about recruiting. And so I know we all see drop and we play I definitely play the Ask Me game. It works every time. It pulls out the people who are really interested, and the people who are quiet are hearing the answers. I love the Ask Me game. I lived by it for a long time. But my question for you is, once you have someone interested in the business, what do you do? I know what we do, but what do you do?
Book a show. That is the most important next step, is to book a show, because then they're your captive audience, right? And even if she starts waffling or changes her mind allegedly or whatever, you still have that show to hold on till the very last second, meaning that you now can take her through the whole process. You can sit down with her at the end of the night and do that hostess order form with her, so that, because sometimes they change their mind because they don't think their friends are going to book a party, or they think their sales are actually going to be low. So they're kind of holding back until they see the results of the show. So when they do end up having some bookings and they do have sales, and you're able to say, well, just so you know, if you were, by having this party, you're getting XYZ, right? You go over all the hostess benefits. And then but if you decide you do want to turn this into your business, you're going to receive a paycheck of X amount of dollars. You're going to still get all of these hostess benefits. And instead of going and just spending money at Fran and Susan and Myra's house, you're going to make the paycheck at all of these. So I just want to make sure that you know what you're entitled to before I go ahead and put this show in. That's another phrase I'm a big fan of. I want to let you know what you're entitled to. And part of what I try to teach my team is that I want you to remember that starting a business is really like star 6, right? Because they're entitled to a thank you award, they're entitled to free credit, they're entitled to half price items, they're entitled to hostess only, they're entitled to more thank you pieces at every show booked from their show, and they're entitled to use that show to start their business. So personally, I still am working the home office to add that to the brochure, because I feel like if it was on the brochure, more would ask about it, more would use it, more would remember to talk about it. But in the meanwhile, I'll just proceed on with my team doing it. But that is something that I like to share with each host, that they're entitled to the paycheck from tonight if that is something that they're interested in pursuing. Because they can make more a lot of times than the kid even costs.
Michele, can you do me a favor? Because I got this out of one of the calls, I don't know which one, when you said flip the hostess order form over.
Yeah.
You can explain that so everybody can understand that.
Yes, so let me grab one. Hold on.
Oh, the hostess. It does have information on that. I don't use it.
Is it on your back of receipt?
No.
Okay, and I do have a really good video on this too that I'll bump up for the rest of the team that's not here today. But, so this is the hostess order form, right? Have we all seen this at some point? They actually are in the pre-made hostess packets.
Yes.
And I keep these in my calendar as well, so that at the end of a show, I have one handy, regardless of she doesn't know where her hostess packet is. All right, so at the end of the show, I like to do the hostess order then. And that doesn't mean she can't still go get orders and whatnot, because if she's at 8 orders, I'll say, listen, you're going to go get 2 more orders, right? Because with 8 orders, you're going to get $260 and free. But if you get 2 more orders, you're going to get $400 and free. So, you know, I know somebody called while I was setting up, right? And she'll be like, yeah, my sister was supposed to come. She's not here. All right. So you'll get an order from her and she'll say, oh yeah, definitely. So anyway, then we do her order. So I'll say, did you make a wish list? Like you were, you know, basically like, did you make a wish list like you were supposed to? Because some of them do and some of them don't, right? Because some of them are too busy chit-chatting and partying and whatever. So I'll say, you know what? Let's make the list of the things you like while the jewelry's still here. Because I feel like that's a big service to the hostess. She probably didn't see the pieces as clearly as the guests because she's busy doing stuff, right? She was getting somebody a drink when I showed Unicorn. She was getting somebody, you know, she was in the bathroom. She was turning the blender off and all this kind of stuff. So I like to walk tray by tray with her and make a wish list of all the things she likes. I'll say, you know what, point to what you like and let's make a list. Try some things on, because once you leave with the jewelry, she's resigned to the catalog. She doesn't remember what she liked. She doesn't, nothing's as important to have anymore. When she's sitting just like the guests before, when she's got the Unicorn on, she wants it. Once the wine wears off, she doesn't even remember if Unicorn was a ring, a bracelet, a necklace, and she can easily live without it. She crosses things off and she'll just take her bare minimum. Whereas if I have a big list and I'll say, okay, so these 2 things can be your thank you awards. That's the highest value things that fall into this category. We don't even have to waste your free credit on these. We're going to put these in the 19. I shouldn't say waste, but we don't have to use up your credit. Now I can fit, and I real quick, you know, add up, all of these items will fit into your credit, so I can actually put these as half price. Do you want to grab these for half price too? A lot of the times they say yes, because they'll say, well, I guess start with that and then we'll see. You know, because they can always take it off at the end if it's too high, but I want them to take them. So we add those on. If, you know, does she want any hostess only? Go through every single section that she's entitled to, and then give her the big thing at the end. If she's like, ooh, that's actually high, and then I'll say, okay, no problem. Where do you want to start with crossing out? So if she crosses out something that's actually in her credit, I'll cross that out. I'll move up a half price item into that slot so that we're bringing down the total. Sometimes they'll take the hostess only thing off because sometimes that's pricey, you know, whatever it is. Now I know what her total sales are, and we can start working on the back part. Okay, so the back part, this is where it says, as a hostess, you are receiving, and you're going to do a quick overview once again. Now, I just want to make a quick reminder. Sometimes a hostess spends like $380, right? No hostess had a party thinking she's spending $380 because she had a show to get free stuff. So what's very important, just like when I do a customer order, I always say what you saved first. So I'll say, great news, Joy. This order that you just picked out actually is $1,100 worth of jewelry, and you're receiving it for $380.92. Isn't that amazing? Always say, isn't that amazing? My team pees in their pants every time I say that because they're like, oh my God, you kill me. So isn't that amazing? And she may say, that is amazing, and write you a check or hand over her credit card. She might say, that is amazing, but I got to dial that down. What can I take off? And then we take it off, whatever, okay? But just like when I do a customer order, I would say, pretty sure most customers don't think they're spending $220, right? But they also don't think they're saving $260 on that same order. So I'll say, you know, Sheila, this is unbelievable. You are saving $240, and your total is $220.96. Again, they can cross out, but usually they're like, oh my God. And then while I can tell they may be thinking about that that's a lot, I just try to keep it going. Cole's got nothing on us. And then they usually laugh, and then they hand over their credit card. So we just want them feeling good about the fact that they unexpectedly spent $220, but reminding them that they did just save $240. And again, if I see the eyes starting to waffle, I'll be like, and isn't this one a gift for your sister's birthday? Do you believe you fit a birthday gift in here? That would have cost you more out at Macy's. You know, so I'm just trying to keep them remembering, like, this isn't even all yours, if that was the case. Okay, so we settle on the hostess order. Now I'll remind her again. So, Joy, you got, you know, blah, 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 blah. Now, just as a reminder, I know we talked about this a little ahead of time, but I just want to make sure that you know that if you decided you wanted to try out the business using this party, you would still receive everything we just said, but you would also receive a paycheck of, you know, $306, and you'd be entitled to pick out another $1,000 worth of jewelry and get a kit and a website for a whole year for $229. So actually, you're making already more than you would even spend on this kit, and you have 2 friends here that want to have shows that you could continue to make money on. So is that something you want to think about? And then usually they have to make you repeat yourself, right? Usually, wait a minute, you're saying I'm going to get paid $306, but that the kit will be $220. That's less than the kit. I said, that's right. That's why I want to make sure that you know what you're entitled to. You know, all of these conversations just need to be like smooth and matter of fact. No matter what she says to you, because when you're a new recruiter especially, or this is your 3rd hostess in a row that's like, you know what, I will do that. You want to be like, oh my God, that is so amazing. We're gonna go to convention. We're gonna sleep together. We're gonna go to Greece. We're gonna do all this stuff. And that freaks people out, you know. So you just want to be like, that is a great decision. You know what? I'm gonna really enjoy working with you. We're gonna get you this paycheck, you know, and you just act like this is normal, right? One of the best phrases Mary Grace always says is act as if. Right? Act as if that's normal. I remember doing a hostess order with a hostess one time, and I said, okay, now you're entitled to a few half-price items here. Is there anything you'd like to take advantage of at half price? She points to my wrist, which is wearing a topaz signature bracelet. So I was like, oh, okay, I did bring a few of those. Let me bring over the color choices. So now, of course, I turn around and I'm like, and I bring over, I was in a real high-end neighborhood, which is why I brought a few extra signature bracelets. So I brought them over, and she's like, yeah, I definitely want that one. So I write it down, because now I'm adding $250 net to this show, just like as a last-minute thing. So then, of course, I'm like, and would you like any other color? But I like breathe in first to make it like it would be normal to take 2 signature bracelets for half price. And then she was like, no, I think that's okay. I'm like, yeah, you're getting a great hostess order here. And I just keep writing like, oh, this is normal. Like every hostess takes a half price signature bracelet, because why wouldn't you? So this is how, you know, you don't want to freak people out and act like it's the first time you're doing something. Just smooth and nice. Even if you mess it up or you told her something a little bit wrong, you can always fix it later. It's fine. So that is, if you get into the habit of doing this with every single hostess, your recruiting will increase. Period. End of story. There's no way that it won't, because it forces you to ask every single hostess. And if you know that you don't ask every single hostess now, you're already a step ahead. Yes.
Okay, so that was great, first of all. Thank you. Okay, so you have the party. She's interested. She makes a great decision. Great. Now she made her decision. Now what?
Now you're going to let her know that she can make a list of $1,000 worth of additional jewelry. So you can ask her, do you want to do that now while it's still here, or would you prefer to let me know that tomorrow or something? Because she may have had it now. You know what I mean? Like, it might be 11 o'clock at night, and she's like, lady, get out. You know, and then other times she might say, ooh, yeah, It depends on the person. So I'll give them an option at that point, and then take the information that I need and just let her know, okay, I'm going to go home. I'm going to get you all signed up. And then we're going to continue on. You were going to get your kit ordered. And then just tell her what's coming. So when your kit arrives, we're going to get together again. And I'm going to do, I encourage a kit orientation.
This is what I want to know. This right here. Okay.
When a kit comes, that's like, I mean, this is it now, right? This is their business. So I feel it's very important to get together. And if they don't live close by or it's not convenient, you can always do it on the Zoom like this or something. But I love to get together with them, and I love to do it in a public place. So to do a Panera or a Starbucks or something like that, because it usually gets attention from people around. And, but you know, again, if someone has little kids and they would rather just do it at their own home or whatever, I'll do whatever works. And we go over every single thing in that kit. We talk about every single form, brochure, flyer, program, and go over every piece of jewelry so that she knows, like, this was a great choice because this is a thank you piece. So every time you show this piece, you're going to be able to talk about how if they get to do a get-together with you, they're getting this for $19. I'm so glad you picked this. So go over, you know, this actually goes great with this. That was almost more important to do when the kit was pre-selected, but either way, you want to go over their jewelry with them. Now, please do advise them on the jewelry selection. We cannot just let people pick what they want, okay? Because then you get these people, and I saw a little of that on that live yesterday where she was like, I like this one because I like small stuff. She had a whole lot of small stuff in that kit. But I'm hoping that she has some other things already because, like, her mom is Teresa Morgan. So I'm guessing Teresa's given her a lot of things over the years. But, and remember, if you think somebody's going to be a nightmare, don't even offer the select your own kit. I had a hostess with a 10-order show that was joining. It was like pulling teeth to get her to pick every little Hello Kitty piece that she wanted. Every piece I needed my go-go gadget eye to see. She picked every tiny caress and every tiny little piece we sell. And it was like a nightmare to get her to even pick her thank you awards because the thank you pieces are all bigger. Well, I won't wear that. And I kept reminding her, but you're starting a business. People have different tastes, you know, whatever. I didn't even tell her about the select your own kit. I'm like, great, your kit will arrive next week. and that was that because she had no business picking her own kit. She couldn't even see past her, you know, she picked what she wanted for her hostess, and that's fine. She's entitled to do that, but not for your kit. For your kit, you need to pick, you know, one of the benefits of repping a full service jewelry company is that you have full service options for people at your show. You know, you girls, quite a few of you came from Leah Sophia. That was really all one style, right? It was all trendy casual, in my opinion. I felt like this well before I was sold jewelry. I sold Pampered Chef, okay? It was not cool. I was not as pretty as this. It was just terrible, okay? And all I wore, I felt like every Leah Sophia piece was long and loopy. Every long loopy necklace. Every necklace looked to me long and loopy. Whereas here, you have full service jewelry, right? So you have your little tiny Hello Kitty pieces. You have your big bling for your blingy sister-in-law. You have the one for the attorney who has to wear conservative things at work. All of these styles we have. You want to represent that when you show your stuff. So I don't know if you've ever seen, but I did make a video and a worksheet for everybody to use to help somebody through picking a kit. It's called Pick a Smart Kit.
Yes.
And then SMART all stands for something. So use that worksheet when you're picking out a kit with somebody so that you have enough check marks. Because all of a sudden, if you realize, ooh, she's out of 1,000 and hasn't picked a single thing in rose gold,
Right.
then you got to change something. Or if she has a lot of rose gold on her hostess order, then it's fine. Joy, I see you trying to say something. Go ahead.
One thing that I did, and I was wondering if it was smart or not, and then now that you said it, so it worked. Because what I did with my person, she wanted the whole catalog, right? And she's a bling, bling, bling person. So she would have ordered bling and just been happy, right? But we talked about if you're in the business, we need to diversify your portfolio of jewelry. And so what I did was I sent her my recommendation list. So in my recommendation list, it it was like necklace, earrings, and everything, but it had the colors next to it. And then as a hostess, she also got all the bling, bling, bling she wanted. So she maximized her $1,000, but also got all the stuff she really wanted as well. But I wanted to back up a little bit. The thing that I noticed that you do, and I did it at my last party, because I used to do the Ask Me game, and I would talk to people about how they can get the kit for free with hosting a party. Versus saying, because if you notice, Michele never said free.
Nope.
She never said $39. She never said you had this amount of a show. What she said was, you get the kit and the website for $229, and you get $1,000 worth of jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never said it that way. And at my last party, I said, you won't believe. Somebody said, well, how much does it cost to start? And I'm like, only, right? I didn't say entitled. I like the entitled now. But only $229, and you get a website, and you're able to pick the jewelry that you want for over $1,000 worth of jewelry. And one lady said, that's it. She was the person that said, that's it. And the girl that joined was like, that's all it is. Can you believe that? And I had a couple people spend $200.
Mm-hmm.
Easily at the party. So, because they were buying all these bracelets too.
And you know what?
Free sounds like
Yeah.
Many guests are sitting there spending $220, right? Because when you're doing a $90 special, and then add, especially now with the 225s, most people are at 120-ish, because most people are not just spending 90, right? They're usually over 100 as it is. Now we're adding $50 of bonus items, tax, not for you, tax, shipping. They're at 200-ish anyway, and they're like, wait a minute, I could spend the same as I'm spending now and start the business? That's why the 229 doesn't sound all that hot. Because many guests are spending that anyway.
And it's funny, that was me when I talked to them about, we were talking earlier about prejudging. My thought was people wouldn't want to pay $229, but when I said it, they were like, oh, that's all.
Yeah.
Well, and here's why I want you to really assess that that's not a lot of money. Let's talk for a moment about the existence of LuLaRoe.
Oh my God.
Okay? LuLaRoe people wait I don't know if they still have to because it's declining so rapidly, but at one point, they were waiting 3 months to even be eligible to start. In that 3 months, they were supposed to prepare a room, buy hangers and rack things and whatever, which they spent surely hundreds of dollars on. And then the minimal, I think, to sign up is like $7,000. Most are encouraged to spend more, like 11 to 12. They take out business loans to do it and all this stuff. To buy a product that you can't control your inventory and that you have no customer loyalty because people just join any group so that they can find the pizza leggings, okay?
Pizza leggings.
Yes.
And then why do they stay with these ugly clothes? Because they've spent $15,000 and have a loan to pay off, and they're going to do their best to stay with this company and make their money back. And then we're like, ooh, 229 is a scary number. No way. Anybody who has ever sold cosmetics or clothing has spent hundreds, if not thousands, to get started. And I personally would rather see people with a little bit of an investment, because then they want to make it back. And honestly, they do at their launch. But that's why I don't fear the presidential kit. People who have ever sold any of the other things, if they've ever sold Rodan and Fields, Mary Kay, any of those, they've spent upwards of $1,000 to get started. So again, they're not even going to bat an eye at $639. So give the options for sure. I very rarely do the $39. Plus, just be aware too, you can't pick your kit at $39. That's preset only.
Right.
I'm not even gonna talk about that.
I'm not even talking about it anymore because of the reactions I'm getting. And even when you said it at the event, the person that was most interested, she was like, that's not bad, is it? And I was like, no, not at all. So she's a person I would have never thought that would have said that either. So
that's awesome.
I have to admit, when the first time I heard you talk about the presidential kit, is the first time I realized it was actually affordable.
Reasonable.
Because I never talk about the presidential kit. But I should, because they get the 500 point, 500 points or whatever, plus the way you said it as far as getting, having the 10 sales or whatever, having the $1,000 party, and long story short, they could get the $2,500 kit for the $200, 200 and some change, based on the commission that they would earn on that party. So that's kind of, that was the first time I realized, wow, they can do $229 on a $1,000 kit, or $229 on a $1,000 kit, or they can do $229 on a presidential kit.
Right, because remember, most new people don't realize they're going to make the money on this party.
Yes.
Right? So when you tell them in advance, listen, we're going to apply. Let's look at applying your commission to this. So you thought you were going to spend $229 and didn't even know you were getting paid. Now that you know you're getting paid, you're going to spend that same $200-ish. Let's apply it to a $400 paycheck. And now you spend really the same amount of money.
Right.
And instead, and then just so that you guys know, remember that 500 counts towards it counts towards their rich rewards and stuff, but also counts towards your volume. And as the leader, you do get paid on that. You get paid on their presidential kit. They don't, but you do.
I didn't know that one. Okay.
See?
Thank you for sharing. So Michele, I appreciate you coming on because there's a lot of stuff that you covered. I know we talked about, we're gonna just do a quick little intro.
I know. I'm sorry. I feel like I don't want to mess up your agenda for the day.
No, I can make some modifications, but I wanted to thank you for that. I know we do have some different time commitments.
Yes.
Go ahead. What I already did was I've added these ladies to the Shine On group so that they're already on there, so we don't have to worry about that, so they can already start getting access to that. But I do want to really thank you for taking the time out this morning. I know you have a show. I'm hoping you have a great show
Thank you.
this afternoon. And now some others have some shows this afternoon too, so we can get to what we're learning today. I like this things that you are entitled to. So I have to say that a lot in the mirror to make sure I got it.
Awesome. Well, I'm thrilled to work with you ladies. Have a great rest of the afternoon, and there's tons more that we'll be learning and growing together. So enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank